Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Burning tries to fix this black hole containment field and just isn't able to figure it out. So since the last episode, it kind of broke again. So I tried something else. I didn't change any of the logic. Instead, I was like, I'm gonna assume my logic is perfect, even though it probably isn't. But I think it has something to do with the what do you call it? The input buses and colored hatches. So before this was not colored, right? And this input hatch corresponds to the collapser, right? The one that actually resets the the compressor. So that wasn't colored at all, but these guys were. So this one has always been colored to something like brown and something else, right? I changed the colors, changed this one to cyan so that the items run first because the eternities like to take forever, or the eternal singularity. So I made this one cyan instead. But I think maybe it listens to the colored hatches. So if it detected something here, but if there was something in the other hatches, it would just listen to those first. I don't know how true that is because the black hole compressor should do collapsers first before anything else. But the wiki did not mention colored hatches. So maybe it does account for them. So far, it seems like it's worked a little bit better. 11%, that's the number I'm looking for. 11 or 10%, it doesn't really matter. I blame that on tick differences over time, right? Because, lag is a thing. But it seems like it's working better, maybe because of it. So what I just did to fix it or to address it, I colored this one black, which in the color list, it's the first one, which should be the most priority. I think that's how it works. I'm going to leave it like this. It seems like it's working fine. And then I noticed another problem since the last time I was out. When was the last episode? On the 9th. Today is the 14th. So, 5 days ago? Yeah, so it's been a while since the last episode. I've just been doing some catch up and babysitting big crafts. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Another problem I noticed was actually our lack of carbon dust. I totally ran out of it. It doesn't look like I ran out of it, but I talked about it yesterday. And for the past couple of days, I had like actually zero carbon dust, and the whole reason for that was because of this filter. These storage drawers I talked about last time. You guys remember how I said like, oh, I'm a little scared of touching it because I feel like I'm gonna break something. I should have messed with it because it was actually breaking something while it was plugged in. So for some reason, all the carbon dust was going into this drawer, and it just voided everything. So I never had more than 65,000. So that's obviously a problem because I was just voiding everything. So I just disconnected it. I don't trust this anymore. I'm going to leave it there forever. It doesn't matter. It's going to be some random resources. We're producing so much stuff. The only thing that scares me about doing that is if I totally disconnect it, it's going to have some passive setup somewhere that relies on voiding or something like that. So that doesn't matter anymore at this point because I have ways to endlessly produce resources. And I guess the biggest problem we have right now is our storage is totally filled up with a bunch of random things because nothing is voiding anymore. I'm not voiding anything anymore. It doesn't really make sense to. So first step is to address our little storage problems. Redstone seems to be one of the big ones. And I guess also soda light. Speaking of soda, I can really go for some soda right now. That's not how you do it. Okay, never mind. You have no space. Anyways, how's everyone's day going? My past couple of days have been actually pretty eventful. The biggest thing being is that, just a heads up to everyone, I did get like notice from work. It kind of happened out of nowhere on Thursday, and I just basically found out that I'm traveling out of state for a week next week, tomorrow actually. So I wanted to get an episode in before I'm going to disappear again for a week, It's really just 5 days. It's just until Friday. It's pretty exciting. It kind of came out of nowhere. It's my first job assignment already. I'm very much like looking forward to it, especially because I'm the kind of person that prefers to work hands on, and I haven't really been able to do that until now. So pretty exciting, but I'm a little anxious because it's like I'm about to be thrown into the field, essentially like first time experience with some of these machines. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be cool. Um, Pretty big experience for me too. I'm actually going to Michigan um, for a couple days, so that'll be exciting. Thought I'd mention it, but like the past couple of days has been like kind of um, not only like physically preparing for that trip, physical as in like just buying some things for the trip, making sure I have everything I need, but also like mentally preparing for it because it is such a big different that I'm not used to. Nitric acid is being a problem actually. Let's store that. But overall, pretty cool. I've never been up there, so it'll be a pretty cool experience. So here's the problem. I think nitric acid is being stored in fluid form or drop form. Yeah, you are. So it's being stored somewhere, I think, in drop form. Yeah, whenever you see that, that's what it tells you. And I think we talked about it last time. It has to do with all the stuff over here. I think it's filtered. So this filter thing is kind of like a I'll fix it when I deal with it. Oh, you know what it might be also. Watch this. It's one of the OG machines. Not here. I think it's over here in El Bozo. You guys remember that? Yeah, this dude. This guy has been producing us nitric acid forever. So the 64 million in here. Honestly, I'm just gonna break it. I'm just gonna break it, yeah. Okay, and there's another 64 million somewhere, and I have no idea where. Okay, but it's not being stored in the subnet, so I'm just gonna store it right here, I guess. I don't know. It looks like that might be a sticky card, but I'm just gonna do that. But anyways, yeah, I'll be traveling for a week starting tomorrow. I'm gonna take a flight over. We'll see how that goes. Take a drink of water. And then, I guess not to just talk about non-GTNH stuff in general, because there was something I wanted to talk about in GTNH. Pretty big thing, actually, a big deal, is why you stored there. You know what, let me get a singularity for that. But, for the next topic is talk about GTNH. Major plans, or major accomplishment, I guess. So I don't know if you guys remember, since the last episode, we started the recipe for, I don't know, it's been a couple days. We started some recipe. I think it was for the mag matter thing, right? It was everything needed for that upgrade, and well, we have it. Plus another Eye of Harmony with an Astro Array. I was able to get that going. So we did two big things. So this Eye of Harmony, the third one is going to be for black dwarf matter. Because right now we have one for stellar matter and technically also white dwarf matter because it also produces white dwarf. Universium is this one, and then now we have black dwarf matter. So that's all three. I don't know if I need a fourth one for just white dwarf matter, but I guess we'll see over time, right? But that's the third one. And then here's everything for the Godforge upgrade. So I'll set that up whenever I deal with some of these storage problems. Another thing though is you have filter drop of nitric acid. And then throw this back into storage. Alright, so that should have cleared whoever was storing all the nitric acid. I think it was this guy, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, what was I trying to say? Oh, yeah. I wanted to craft more Astral Rays because at this point, I don't even know if we need more Eyes of Harmony. Just spam Astral Rays at this point. But we actually have a resource deficit. And it's pretty funny because the only resource we don't have is end powder. It's this random thing which you don't really think about until you're out of it. And I'm like totally out of it because I don't actually have a way of getting end powder ore. You can either use meteor ritual, but miss me with that. I don't want to do that. Space mining, also miss me with that. I don't want to deal with it, but you can also use end dust queens, which I'd rather do because I do bees. But one of their products is end dust combs. And you just process that down into end propolis. It's kind of a shame though, you can't really use the I can't say it. Ender goo, because this can be pumped directly. I don't think you could use this for the end powder, I don't think. If you could, that'd be so nice, but I don't think so. Chorus flower. Spawn shulker. I'm just trying to see if there's any possible way of us getting end powdered. No, I don't think so. So it looks like, yeah, I'm just going to deal with the end dust queen and do that, but I'll do that later. Okay. I also did the division sigil off camera. By the way, look at our space elevators. They're so good. Our big bottleneck right now, I think it is the ass lines. These take forever, but that's what I want because for me to upgrade those ass lines, I'm trying to get to UXV tier, which I'm going to go ahead and call it. Today is the day because I think I have everything needed to just move on to the next tier. But yeah, I did the ritual. It does work. Confirmed. I'm going to leave this patch of ugly right here. It doesn't spawn anything, even though it's nighttime, because this is the personal space. Natural spawns are disabled. And this was for the radium quest, so I did that. Drink water. I'm a little thirsty right now, sorry. It's very hot and humid in Houston. Which brings me to another point of discussion I wanted to bring up. Let me actually build the rocket first because I have everything here. I'm kind of all over the place today. Sorry. Can I not do that? Oh. No, let me. It's a tier 8 rocket, right? There we go. I don't remember what this was for, but I needed it for something, so I'm just gonna keep it on me. This goes in my back pocket. No, another thing I wanted to bring up. So, ever since I came over to Houston, I was like, you guys might have noticed I've been complaining about the weather, and like it's been constantly raining. No surprise, it's still raining. But I don't want to sound too negative, so I've decided from now on, instead of complaining about the weather, let's learn to live with it. Especially because I kind of realized that it's hurricane season, so no duh, it's gonna be raining. That's what I get for not understanding the local area, right? Or the local weather. So, and why am I saying that? It's because I went on a hike on yesterday actually. I visited Stephen F. Austin State Park. It was actually really pretty. They got some massive trees. The biggest trees I've seen in my life so far. I did not know there was huge trees like that nearby. They're called cottonwood trees. Massive, big, wide trees as well. I don't know. That was just I was just amazed at the size of these trees. It was so cool to see. Of course, I gotta always babysit this thing. It's processing. Never mind. I'm always scared that the compressor stops working out of nowhere. No, but I went to the park. Halfway into my hike, I got rained on, like, real bad. It was actually pretty funny. But like I was in that hike and I was kind of, like this isn't so bad. It was downpouring. It was pretty rough. It was a lot of rain. But like if as long as you're prepared for it, then it's actually pretty nice. It's a good thing I had what do you call it? I had a rain jacket with me, so it wasn't too bad. But still it was a really nice visit. Those trees are so cool. Massive trees as well. I've never seen any trees like that. Let me actually respec this. So I need, what was it, 12 graviton shards for this? So what I'm going to do is just disable pretty much everything here. This one I have to work fast though, because once I enable it, that's it. And so that is the last upgrade for mag matter. All right. And so what I'm trying to do is first enable, what is this button? I'm scared of them, I'm not going to touch that. The next extension is to get composition, which I think we can do. I read this on the wiki. You have to enable the other heliofusion exoticizer, which I did build. It's kind of just down here. I didn't enable it or anything. But I think if you tell this to be, not this one, is it this one? This one. If you tell this to be mag matter, it counts as another structure. Which should mean that I completed that other milestone. Yeah, there it is. That gives me more shards and I can enable those other upgrades. So that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, first important one is this one. Actually, I need this one. Was it only 7? I thought it was more. That's fine. This one enables all the plasmas to run, and I need the plasmas. But that's mag matter. I'll put that up here. And we still need more graviton shards. We have 3 more points. I'll just put those in. I'm just going to put that there, sure. And then the last composition upgrade is for the 3rd ring, which I think it's one of these quests. This one. It's a little pricey though, yeah. So I don't think I want to do this until I get the component ass line for emitters or for UXV parts. I guess I'm going to have to spend a lot of them. Yeah. Okay, but with that, we are now able to produce mag matter after a little setup. I don't really know how the setup is going to look like. I don't know. So I guess we'll learn. Actually, you know what? Let's do the Eye of Harmony next. I'm just going to dump everything. Bookmark you. Okay. And then go ahead and mark copy. What is that? Why is that a weird stain on the ground? Is it like a different biome? Toxic. Oh, that was over here. That's right. I remember that. It was back when I was trying to get a stab alloy spawner a long time ago. I tried to spawn stab alloys using cursed earth. So I put cursed earth and I changed the biome to toxic everglades right here. And then I put cursed earth. And then I found that it doesn't work like that. Let's go ahead and make a plan. I should have everything in storage right now. At least I could have sworn, unless things got stuck in storage because I don't have enough stuff to grab everything. No, everything should be in. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to do the plan and see what's missing. Unless it is reset stack. What if I paste it? It's a little laggy. Is the B in the way? No, not yet, not yet. I'm just gonna plan it. No, but it's a pretty nice visit to that park. I had a really good time. Even though I got heavily rained on, it was pretty funny. Like it was downpouring. It started drizzling. I was like, oh, this is actually a nice walk. No, 5 seconds later, it was so rainy. It was a good thing I had a rain jacket though, but now I know I need to better prepare for rain, especially in an area like this where it's just constantly raining because that's just how it is. Um, why is it taking so long? What are you trying to craft that I don't have? Oh, that's right, that's right. Cancel it. You don't need to. You're trying to craft these guys. Oops. Time dilation. Because the most efficient Universium setup uses those, but I don't want that. Yeah, I could have sworn I did this correctly. I just need to copy you. Let me copy from here, actually. Because I set up the recipe to do the 999, not a 989. There we go. That reduced it. What do you mean you're out of grass? Why? There's grass somewhere underneath this. I'm not going to complain about it. Just go ahead. But honestly, Stephen F. Austin State Park, it was a smaller park. I only did about 4 miles. But I would paste it over here, actually. Probably call it my top 5 state parks so far. And it's mostly just because of the massive trees. They're cottonwood. And they're huge trees. Bigger than a lot of the pines that I've seen. Why do you need grass? I have no idea why it wants grass. How much you want to bet it's because it's under here? No? I don't know why it wants grass, honestly. Probably because I went under the. I'm not gonna pretend to understand. You're ready. So I want to get this guy set up as soon as possible, so I can just leave it running in the background without paying attention. Okay, so I think we have to refer to our best friend, the power planner. Actually, no, the wiki tells me. I won't flashbang you guys. I'll flashbang myself though. The best black dwarf matter is Proteus.
Gotcha. Drink time.
Hello, Ellie. I'm actually really thirsty. Yeah, this Houston is just really humid and very hot. I know we've been talking about like us in the group chat, like comparing how hot it is, and it is pretty hot over here. Like, I don't know if it's a thing, but no matter how much water I drink, I don't feel hydrated. So either I'm just super dehydrated, or I don't know, it's in my head, I guess. Proteus. I should have it somewhere here. Oh, it already worked. You can't hype live videos. I tried. What does that mean? Pause that. So I'm going to grab you. I guess we have to look at the power planner actually. Yeah, we have to look at the power planner for the recipe. So this one needs to have stellar plasma mixture. YouTube, if you're a small creator, can get people to hype videos and move you. Ooh. Okay. Well, there you go, VOD watchers. All like two of you. No, I'm joking. The number will go up naturally, but it's also like I'm not really focusing on that. I'm just having a good time. I heard about that. It's similar to how I can pay to advertise my own videos, but I think that ruins metrics. I hear that that's what it does. I'm not gonna do that. And plus, I don't feel like that's a good idea for small creators because it's gonna bring in people, and the majority of them are gonna like not watch, which is fine, and that's gonna hurt the stuff over time. I don't know. That's just what I read somewhere. Anyways, I totally lied to you guys. We do have to look at the power planner. So, flood watch. You guys see that? Average Houston moment. So, Eye of Harmony. I'm going to do a 999. And this one is going to be Proteus. Right there. So, what you want is 694.4 thousand. And this man is going to consume 7 trillion. It's a good thing I'm upgrading the antimatter as I continue. So 694.4. Type that in chat before I forget. 694.4. Okay. So in other words, this recipe needs to be 694,000. 694,000. Okay. One more zero. One more zero. No. 694.4. Sorry. 694,400, right? Yeah, sure. Just go with that. And then tell this guy to make me. I'm Eye of Harmony it right there. You keep hearing people go hype, and I was like, what is this? Okay. No, I haven't heard about that. I mean, it sounds kind of familiar, but no, not really. Let me give you Astro Ray Fabricator. Turn that on. Connect you. And I guess you also need the output, right? Yeah. Like that. So 1 input. There you go, 1 input and 2 outputs. Not enough. Sure. You. And then I need to chunk claim you. Right there. And then there you go. You have the blocking card, right? Because that's very important. And blocking mode, right? Yeah. So if I scan this man. I have no idea if those are the right numbers, but I'm going to believe it. So 694. Yeah, okay. Sweet. That's our third Eye of Harmony, giving us black dwarf matter. So we'll just leave that running forever, and well, there we go. As for power, I do have 3.39 times 10 to the 20. This is the biggest value we've had so far. So whatever adjustments I did last episode did work out. Did I even show it to you guys? I don't even remember anymore. It's been a while. Also, this one is not correct. Go over here. Anyway, so that's the Eye of Harmony before I forget. Another thing before I forget, and then working on mag matter, is let's get the B going. I need the end dust. Go ahead and throw you into here. Turn that on. Thank you. And get a pristine. It really doesn't matter what kind of princess I give this. We'll just use. I don't want to use a queen. Guys, I can't put anything in storage. Did I fill up on storage immediately? I did. You know what's happening every time I start a thick craft and then I canceled it because that's what I did? Everything is still processing and then it goes back in storage and then clogs everything up. So a lot of these things is just backup crafting, which is so funny to me. Iron dust. I should be able to like fix some of it with singularities. At least the bigger items like iron dust. Oops, I meant to do that one. So how much iron dust did I have? 15 billion. There we go. Okay. We're still going to have storage problems. But funny enough that it's all going to get cleared out whenever... I'll just use withering. It doesn't matter. Whenever I start up a big craft and actually leave it running. Which is going to happen at the end of this episode because I am going to be gone for a week, like I mentioned. So crafting a big thing seems reasonable. I killed the bee. We're just going to use a bunch of random bees then. There we go. Trying to remember if I know how to do this. Oblivion frame. The whole point of here is to get a pristine. A really good one. It's a good thing we already have the bee, so I just need to get something that keeps stacking. I need you to keep stacking with this one. Breed the breed the vengeful out of there, please. It's oh man. I need you to breed the vengeful out of there. I'm so mad. That's so funny. What the heck are you? Tropical drone, get out. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't miss bees, but it's actually pretty funny once you get to like a certain point. There's still vengeful in there. That's crazy. Still. Okay, so one of these does not have vengeful, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I did this. Get the bee, Eliza. Get the one that does not have vengeful. Yeah, get out of there. This one. I keep breeding the heck out of it until it stops stacking. How about now? Thank you. It looks like you. There we go. And if I do you and you. There you go. Okay. Easy. So trash everything. This is the good one. Get out of here. And then just breed a you and you. And there's the queen. I feel like we only need one. We don't need a lot of end powder to do these recipes. What are you talking about? Since when? I'm so confused. I haven't touched this in forever, and it says shut down. Did I break it by accident? I don't know. Structure probably changed. I don't know, actually. It's weird. I'm not going to complain. Let me try to build the thing. Oh, don't tell me that I lost the bees. Did I? No, they're all there. I forgot that that's a thing. What is going on? I'm so confused. The heck is happening here? Mega apiary. Kind of need you to run. Tier. The glass is cosmic neutronium. Glass 8. I swear this got patched. Oh, that's so funny. It's pollution. Let me drink water. That's so funny. So when I was completing a couple quests, I enabled pollution for a day just so I can complete. I think it was this quest over here. I'm still gonna have to turn it back on for other quests, but none of these things are completable. Like you can't craft it if you don't have pollution enabled. But I guess when I left it on for a little bit, it got dirty enough to turn the dirt into sand. That's so funny. Now I know that that could happen. That's so funny. There we go. Okay, so it wasn't actually broken. It's just a little dirty. And then let me do input mode. And throw all the bees in there. You go in there as well. It should be every... I was trying to pull all the bees back. I wonder how long that's been broken. Okay, all the bees are back, and then operating mode. Go for it. So right now, I want this to be giving me some kind of comb. So this guy's going to produce only honeycombs, right? And I'm interested in end dust comb. I got a little bit. So centrifuge, throw it in that centrifuge over there, the public use one. I don't even know if that's the right word to put. Right there, enjoy. Oh, you're going to be running forever because of the stone dust. Oops. Yeah, you're going to be running forever. Hang on, let me put you in the other one. Right there. And then you can have... What was it? Earth propolis for... You know what? I'm just going to ignore it because I don't want to look for it. Okay, so that's going to give me end powder, I think. Or at least there's a chance for it. No, this is going to give me end propolis. Yeah. And then you fluid extract it for this stuff. And fluid extractor, I'll use this guy. Because I think this one is not running 100% of the time. There you go. Okay, I might need to have a lot more end dust bees, but I mean, I guess over time we'll See it start building up. Okay. Sure. Next step, let's actually figure out how to do the mag matter, because this is a new thing, which I should have learned when doing quark gluon, but I didn't learn because I don't learn, so we're gonna have to try to figure out how that works. Let's see if we can read it here. This module has unique automation challenges for both materials. So it is recommended to have 2 of these, which I do. As they have to be locked. Okay. The common rule for both modes automation is as follows. The module outputs materials at the start of a recipe cycle and waits for the correct inputs to arrive. If mag matter mode is active, the automation challenge changes. Now the out module outputs 1 to 50 of tachyon rich temperature fluid. Can I just give it a stocking hatch? How does this work? It sounds like, I don't know. It's not really clear on what it wants. Does it tell me something in the milestone thing? I may have to look at the wiki what this is talking about, because it doesn't tell me like what happens if I don't give it enough stuff. I guess I'll read this. Nope, wiki it is. Take a look at it. Flashbang. Drink water also. Man, I could really go for a soda right now. I can go for a cold drink actually. Jeez, it's hot. Anyways, common rule for both modes automation challenges as follows. The module outputs materials at the start of recipe cycle and waits for the correct inputs to arrive. For each liter of fluid, a bucket of plasma. If mag matter mode is active, the automation challenge changes. Now the output, whatever. That's what the thing says inside the... Okay. Once all of these have been returned in correct amounts, the recipe will start to process. Let's see if there's like a different thing to do. Like there's a automation to this. Because to me, it sounds like I can just use a storage bus, but like a stocking hatch or stocking, just straight up stocking. But I know there's also like a, let me get the scanner here. Scanner might tell me some more information over here. Doesn't tell me a single thing. Expected inputs. I know I can change the carbon plasma. What the heck? I mean, that's fine. Beryllium plasma, all of this stuff is actually kind of fine. Can I change it? Pretty sure I can change it. Change it. Oh, okay. You need Rugnor? The heck? What is that? Oh, that's something I've been producing my whole life, right? That's right. So maybe I do want to work on that's fine as long as it's something. So does this always change? So it looks like there's no like fluid thing. It's just waiting for inputs. Expected inputs. So what happens if I give it like a stocking hatch? I'm kind of scared though. It's gonna delete everything. So I'm gonna give it like how much does it need of each? Let me give it a quad hatch actually. I guess we'll use you. We'll use UEV because I can. And let's get a bunch of empty cells. Out here in UXV tier, still using empty cells. So if I check here, you want 4 and 68 spatially enlarged and a bunch of Rugnor. Do I have spatially enlarged? Yeah, okay. And then Tachyon Rich, I do automatically produce that. I got billions of it. Okay, you get one of you. Spatially enlarged. And Rugnor. This one needs a whole bunch, right? So I'm just going to give it the rest. So, oops. If I rebuild you, do that, and that. You have the inputs. So what if you need exactly enough? That's the other question. So let's try to give it exactly enough then. It looks like it's not doing anything. So maybe that's where the challenge comes in. So I guess we'll use a Klein bottle here. And then you do that. Can I not? Cannot bookmark how much I need. 9216. Let me use a volumetric flask because I don't want to mess with my Klein bottles. I like them. Okay. The Rugnor. And then this one is 4 for Tachyon Rich. And then 68 for spatially enlarged. I'm so confused. Why is there stuff in there already? um, do you need the stuff out of the system? Like, what if I give you a wireless connector to get everything out of there? We'll put that. I'm gonna. There, and I'm just gonna dump this in the white network. Queuing mode, binding mode. I feel like I just need to stock every single different thing that I would want. And then it just takes as much as it wants. But it might not be working because it has stuff in the output bus. I'm so confused. Yes, I'm confused. Modules, let's see here. The module outputs materials at the start of a recipe cycle and waits for the correct inputs to arrive before starting the actual processing. For each liter of fluid, a bucket of plasma, and for each 9. And 1 dust of a high tier material. Once all of these have been returned in the correct amounts, the recipe will start to process an output mechanism. Okay. Pause it, turn it back on. It's pretty interesting, actually. Batch mode on. 9216. 4 liters and 68. 4 liters, 68. I mean, you have enough. I don't know why you're not running. Aquarium plasma. What if I just give it a stocking? But let's try stocking right here. It sounds like it's only going to use fluids. Wireless connectors, put that right there. Color's black. Connect this to an input. This one has 1 channel. Right there. Okay, and then is this even the right machine? No, it's this one, sorry. This is this one, waiting for inputs. So it sounds like it gets the same number and then it pulls it back. So I may have to have some kind of way to like, I'm gonna disconnect this and then break it and try again, see what it does. So if I try to put it like that, change this to, and it's trying to connect itself again. So it feels like a cycle sort of thing is gonna happen. So maybe I want to have another plasma producer right there connecting them back and forth. That's probably what I have to do. Change this to Mac matter mode. There's nothing in there, right? For example, if I enable this, it says waiting for input. That's because it produced, it produces spatially enlarged fluid and a bedrockium dust. And if I check here, I'm gonna bet that it's asking for that same amount of fluid, so 96 and 144 bedrockium dust. No, I don't know where it gets the 84 from, but 96 is correct. And it's asking for a lot more bedrockium plasma. So it looks like it's going to ask for all of these, but in fluid form. So maybe I should have an automation for every single one of these just to have it, just there, I guess. Just pretty interesting. So in that case, if I give it these 3 things, so give it tachyon rich, spatially enlarged, and bedrockium plasma, which I don't actually have. I gotta. I don't think I've ever made it right now. That would be like that. That goes in the plasma fabricator. I mean, you have the input, so why are you not working? um. Well, you have the plasma. That's plasma, right? Yeah, you have the spatially enlarged and the tachyon rich. So why are you not try one more time to just dump it back into? So confirmed it does try to push some of it out. Queuing mode. Bind it to white. Like that. Unless I already have mag matter, it actually did produce. No, it did not. Why is it not pulling it? Maybe it doesn't accept multi hatches or whatever. Let's look at the wiki again because I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me. It's a pretty interesting multi-block. Maybe it has something to do with parallels, actually. For each liter of fluid, a bucket of plasma. And for each dust, 90 gets worth of plasma must be returned for the recipe to work. Whatever that means. Oh, no, this is for mag matter mode. Now the outputs that much. Spatially enlarged fluid and tachyon rich. And 1 dust of a high tier material. Plus as much plasma of the dust material. Once all of these have been returned in the correct amounts. It doesn't say that I can't put it stocking though. And it looks like it does like accept it. Doesn't really tell me where else, right? Unless I can have a separate right here. Okay, it outputs materials at the start of a recipe cycle and waits for the correct inputs to arrive. There are numerous methods to automating this, but only one is discussed in detail, and then it doesn't tell you how it's discussed. Is there like a separate page for it? No. Let's take a look at the wiki real fast. Or not the wiki, the Discord here. Mag matter. So it looks like you just need to have enough of the stuff in there. That's probably what it is. Yeah, you can't stock. You can't cheese it with stocking hatches. Okay. There's an automation to it. Okay, here we go. How the heck? And then possible input materials for QGB. I think you just have to cycle it back and forth. Probably what's going on, but I'm not too sure what it means. So I know for sure it gets the same amount, right? So it looks like I don't want to send it back into main storage yet. I have to find a way to like cycle it back and forth. Same thing with you. I still need to connect to main storage, but I didn't think it was going to be this complicated. I thought it was going to be like a give me some items and you get this item out. So I guess I can better plan what I'm going to need for this thing. Let's get it rebuilt and try to produce something, and then we'll see what it needs. Takes a while for this thing to build, right? But it sounds like the wiki is not really solution, but it kind of just tells you what it wants. I didn't think I was going to think this hard for this thing, but it looks like I am. We're drinking some water here. So, if producing quark glue on plasma, the module outputs up to 7 different fluids and dusts. For each liter of fluid, a bucket of plasma, and for each 9 nuggets worth of plasma must be returned. Okay, if mag matter mode is active, it changes. Now it outputs that much tachyon rich and spatially enlarged fluid. So technically, if you just keep breaking this block and placing it back down, you actually get a unlimited tachyon rich and spatially enlarged fluid, right? But that's not really how it works. So if I look at this, plus as much plasma of the dust material as the difference between the amounts of spatially enlarged and tachyon rich fluid. I'm trying to think what that means. So, as the difference between the amounts of spatially enlarged and tachyon rich fluid. So what it's trying to tell me is that subtract the amount of spatially enlarged and tachyon rich fluid. In this case, 79 minus 2, 77 times 144. Let's try to prove it here. 77 times 144 is 11,088. Is that what it's expecting? Okay, so that's what the automation is. So, yeah, I'm going to need to be able to pull everything in there. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand it. Do we want to try automating it with factory manager maybe? I don't know. Because I don't really know how I'm able to do math with don't take that out of context, but like how do I do math with AE2? It seems like just a simple math equation. You first subtract these two numbers at the start of a cycle, multiply it by this number. No, you just subtract this, multiply by 144, and then that's how much you want to process. So I think I do want to have another plasma guy right here to support this one. That way I don't have this one like complaining, I guess. So like I guess we'll make another before we do anything else, let's make another plasma fabricator. And that way I can like cycle it back and forth between these two things and then have the math somewhere happening in between them. Actually, no. Because the other option is just to have all of the plasmas stocked in a stock replenisher. Of course, we've been using stock replenishers like crazy. I'm going to do that. It's less machines to build. Plus more space for modules for other things. So it looks like maybe I don't want to use output hatch. But I want a way to store everything and understand it. So I think what I want to do is actually output everything into a... I mean, it's not really going to produce that much stuff, right? So let's have a... Just get a bunch of tanks, I guess. Can I even do... what's the... Okay, let's do... Maybe we'll do factory manager because I did enjoy using it for the antimatter stuff. Let's see if I can figure out with factory manager over here. Let me put a cable right over here. I feel like this might be a little easier. Forgot of the flashbang, sorry. So is there a way to do math? Like read what's inside and then use whatever like that for a variable. The other way is to just do processing in per tick values. Like just pull in one until it stops working. No, it's a little bit too complicated. Condition, let's see what this is. Requires... No, trash that. Right there. RF output, RF input. Create trigger. Let's go ahead and do a trigger for something for now. For example, I want this to run on a lever. Redstone receiver. Let's just do a lever like that. Or at least a button. So whenever I do test it, I can do that. So whenever the button triggers, it'll try to do something. Connections, redstone controlled. Redstone receivers, that one. And there you go. So whenever I get a signal, it's going to do something. We'll do on high pulse. So flow control. I forgot what this is. This is to combine things, right? Yeah. So no, I don't care. Create condition. Target items. So let's say inventories. Let's try to connect two tanks. First of all, try to pull these items somewhere. I guess I'm going to use AE2 for this anyways. So blue cable. And then you need an anchor. Won't connect it yet. Let's get a bunch of quantum tanks. No way I'm gonna need that much tanks, but I'm still gonna do it. So 1, 2. And then an interface. Let's get a random one. Get a blue cable. Okay. Right there. So let's do one interface for one channel, like that. Don't show on terminal. Don't put that yet. Storage bus, a bunch of fluid storage buses, and an item bus. So I would like, let's also move it a little bit this way so I can better access it with SFM. So I'm going to put 2 fluids here. One of them for spatially enlarged and one of them for tachyon rich. And then another one. This is for mag matter whenever we actually produce it. I'm assuming it's liquid or dust. liquid. Okay, so that's that one. And then we also get any dust. So set them all to insert only. And then interface right here. Don't show on terminal. This one extended another block right there. No, it has to be a item bus right there. Insert only. Okay. So my idea is to just send all of the either filter and be sure that this is filtered because it needs to be filtered. So my idea is to store the tachyon rich here and then somehow read what's inside here. And then after we do that work, take it out and dump it back into the interface. And then whenever it completes the recipe and it actually does mag matter, then... And the dust, I'm just going to put the dust in storage and then we'll just deal with it later. Maybe like a stocking bus up there with other random dust that this thing produces. Or maybe even directly connect it over there to just do that. I don't know. And then I'm also going to need a stock replenisher. Right there, right? Yeah, we'll try that. So this one is going to have every plasma on stock so that I'm able to pull that much, I guess. Okay. Now here's a condition. If I connect these two cables right here and condition liquid condition is what I'm looking for. Is there really no way to do math? How do you do math in Minecraft? Take a drink of water, actually. Man, this is like software design all over again. It's like, oh, you have very basic inputs. All you have are like binary operations. Somehow do multiplication. That's how this is. So I'm like, trying to think here. Delete drop command here. I'm not really sure. What do you mean you're not? Oh, it's because you're not connected to that. I think you have to be right there to understand that connection, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna say quantum tank right there, and then is it time to get into open computers? Because that's the only other way I can think of to do math. Because it's already in my head what I want to do. It doesn't seem very complicated. It really is. Subtract these two numbers, 79 minus 2. Multiply by 144. And then you just, whatever you get, that's how much you want to put back in here. You got me stumped. I do something like tachyon rich. Specify amount. It's only specified amount. It doesn't really do math. It's a condition. Delete. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. Also for loops, but I think we saw last time I don't really know how to do for loops. Create input. So it's pretty simple otherwise. What does a variable look like? Yeah, I'm not touching that. For loop. I don't think factory manager is the way to do this, so I'm not going to do that. It's a no. Factory manager is a no-go. I'm sure there's ways you can do like Gregtech shenanigans. All right. Do you think I can do what do you call it? These shenanigans? Project Red? How would I even do that? I don't even know how I would do that. This seems very complicated. It might be time for open computers. And I know I've said like, oh, I don't want to use open computers, but I think I am. The only thing is that I have to like learn how to do it, but I think once I get the simple logic down, I can probably just put it somewhere. Let's try it. This is my excuse to learn open computers. Let's try it. And so it might take me more than an hour, but it's a good thing that I know how to do software already, like coding, so it'll probably be a little easier. And the only thing is, I don't really know what I need to start it. What happens if I search subtract? Nothing happens. Subtracting is just adding with the extra steps. Add, addition. Comparators also, like vanilla comparators can be used to subtract, but I don't really know how to do that with analog stuff. I guess open computers it is. Anyone know how to use open computers? Because I sure don't. It's a computer case, right? Hang on. I'm just gonna put it right here, and then we'll see what happens. Or maybe I want to put it up here. This is my computer. Turn it on. Not enough energy. Okay, we'll figure this out. Or maybe I need a. There's a manual for this, right? Let's learn it. It's a lot of readings. Where's a getting started here? I need a getting started page. I remember there was a getting started somewhere. Bare minimum needed to build a computer is a case, screen, and keyboard. All right, let's make the biggest one. So I need a screen. I can see inside it, I bet. Circuit 2, do that. I remember not having AS2 available, so what am I getting rid of? Crops. I don't need crops anymore. Get out. This is AS1. Right there. We're rich. We might as well make the most expensive thing we can. MV circuit. It goes here actually. Sorry. Transistor, and that is circuit 1 as well. Running out of assembler space. I don't see myself using packing tape, so the heck. And put this back. There we go. You know, put this back too. All right. Did I not? Could have sworn he put the recipe there. No, I guess not. Oops. Oh, I just put the same recipe down, that's why. Yep, that's what I did. That one, just like that. S1, it goes right there. And there you go. Okay, so we got a screen. Put it on top, right? There we go. We're making progress. And a keyboard. Keyboard. I know I've made this before for a lot of Galacticraft stuff, right? And then I guess I'll put this. I don't know where to put it. Put it right there, sure. Or do I have to put it attached to this thing? Put the keyboard on the side, sure. Uh-huh. Once the basic structure is built, components can be placed inside the case, include CPUs, memory, hard drives, graphics cards, memory cards. So I guess I'll make everything that I can. So like a CPU, I guess. It's a creative one, right? But I don't think I need that. There's a quest line for this, right? There's something logistics 2. It's right here. Control units, yeah. I guess we're gonna follow this quest book, quest page. I just need control units, which is that stuff. Are you very picky on what you want? It's not. So I can use SMD transistors as well. And MV circuits. It just doesn't update the image for some reason, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the parts to start making a computer. Uh-huh. Look at me actually reading quest books. Okay, transistors. I think I have to set up a recipe for you. Can I not put... Can't put the SMD ones, right? Nope. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, just one of you. Tell Red I said hi. I don't get it. It's a crafting task. What do you mean? I should be able to do it here, but I've seen it before where crafting tasks don't register in this. It works okay. I guess they fixed that because it didn't register before. You try to do a crafting task in the terminal, it didn't work. So thank you for working. Give me that power converter. That actually might be helpful. No, need the menu. That's not how you spell menu. Okay, start with the basics here. The graphics card, just give me the biggest graphics card. Retrieval task, why is it? It's all consume quest. Retrieval task, fine. I guess we're gonna have to do a lot of these retrieval tasks, so I need a graphics card. I can't make that yet. Circuit assembler. So that goes in the circuit assembler. That replace all the tubes. I don't think I'll need those for a while. If I do, skill issue. Okay, you're gonna need microchips, which is microchip 1. And memory. So give me the graphics card. There you go. Two screens. Consume for whatever reason you want to eat my screens. Okay, fine. Give me, I guess just give me a graphics card. All right. So I need a graphics card, and I think I can. Is that the only tier you can make? No, there's more you can make. I don't need that much on. Oh, there's actually more operations per tick. I don't need that much actually. I mean, I might as well make the biggest one I can, right? Unless this is all buying stuff. I won't worry about that. Let me just follow the quest books here. Hard disk drive retrieval task. Let's make one of you then. That is Ass Machine 1. There's a lot of Ass Machine 1 recipes. You know what? I'm just going to add another crafting buffer for that. And while I'm there, make another one for... I don't know if you guys heard that. Neighbors being loud. It's not as bad as my apartment. Don't worry. I'm not going to complain as much. Man, but they were pretty loud on my neighbors at my last apartment, right? I don't know if you guys remember that, but they were making a lot of noise. So we'll call this one Ass Machine 1. Ass Machine 2. If we weren't doing 100% quests, then we don't really need that many more Ass Machines, but all of the stuff that I've ignored, I need so many of them. You need gray cables. Okay, so this one is circuit 2, circuit 1. This one needs circuit 1, and there you go. I'm not going to worry about proxies unless I mass reduce all this stuff. Which I don't think I will. Alright, and then memory tier 1, I need 2 of you. Okay. Keyboard. Made hundreds of these already. Adapter, there's one in my hand. That's not an adapter, never mind. See, I'm telling you, circuit 1 or ass 1. Right there. Thank you. That's done. What did the data say to the CPU? Cash me outside. Hey, Viking. Not you. I was talking to the game. Don't worry. I'm not trying to cause any aggression towards anyone. Kind of on a detour here because I'm trying to. By the way, I didn't even mention it. Yeah, I'm streaming in the afternoon again. So I've already been here for like an hour and a half. Totally glossed over the fact that I'm just streaming at some ungodly time again. That's because did talk about it earlier, but I will be flying tomorrow. So I wanted to spend the evening planning for that a little better. And also just kind of like mentally preparing, you know, what the heck is a scrunch? I don't know. I don't know if you guys heard of that term, the Sunday scaries. It's definitely a thing. I'm gonna craft it manually, I think. Microchip. But yeah, just on a detour trying to see if we can figure out open computers because I wanted to use it to do the automation for mag matter. And sole reason is because I don't know how to do math in Minecraft with these values. Like, how do I read a fluid here, subtract it with another fluid there, like the values, not the fluids themselves, because that doesn't make sense. I don't know how to do that other than use an actual programming language to do the math for you. A disk drive and computer case tier 1. I also need an AS0, right? I'm just going to use all the other ones. Can't stop me. AS0, AS machines are pretty funny because I just use anything that's available. And if there's a conflict, I'll deal with it when I see it. Computer case. Okay. There we go. First computer. Place the power converter you got earlier near a cable. You can also power it with RF if you wanted. And connect it with your wire cutters. Now place your computer case by the converter and by the magic of technology it shall feel. Okay. So I need a converter, right? So if I put something like, I guess right there. Power it back here actually. And then give this guy power. What if I use something like a machine casing should work, right? Is that what they're called? Yeah. I'm going to give it HV and you can't stop me. Right there. Wrench point. No, I'm looking for an input, like a hole. Sorry. HV hole. Like that. I don't know if you'll work without a cable though, because in the past it's been like that. And then I'll use an HV wireless energy cover. Yeah, unnecessarily expensive just to get wireless power over here, but we're rich, might as well. So hurry up. I know I have the research for it, don't lie to me. Unless you're in the old, yeah, you're in the old ass lines, I forgot about you. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I don't know why it keeps saying that. There's no recipe going on in here. I've seen this before. I think I tried to run a recipe and then I manually took everything out, but it still says that. It's trying to do some recipe. I don't really remember it, but so this is an example of it does not work in Ask Machine 1 because I think it's these something. Yeah, it turns into power pass upgrade covers when I put it in Ask Machine 1, so don't do that. It's not gonna work there. We put it in 10, I don't think it crafts anything. That's why I put it there too, for that same reason. That's funny. Okay, go back up there. Put that right there. Okay. I don't know if it's actually working. I'm gonna trust that it is. Okay, so it says give it power. I might need a cable. That's fine. Now place your computer case by the converter and by the magic or whatever. Now take your hard drive, memory, and graphics cards and place them inside. Memory, CPU, graphics card. Place a disk drive next and insert the operating system disk. Insert the BIOS we made into the what? I think it's talking about earlier quests that we completed by accident, something like this, right? I don't know what any of this is. What else do I need? Hang on. It's all of this stuff, right? BIOS, EEPROM. Yeah, I need EEPROM. Do I not have one? I guess not. Circuit S. Slowly getting rid of all of the forestry things. Okay. If I just combine it with Lua BIOS, sure, I don't even know. What are you saying? Unrecoverable error? How dare? No bootable medium. Aw. You probably don't have I don't know what that is. I guess these are all, I don't even know what any of those are. I feel like I'm missing something else here. Microcontroller crate case. Okay, never mind. Component bus. What is that? Okay, sure. Hello world. Looks like a lot of these things, I'll worry about it later. Take your hard drive, memory, and graphics cards and place them inside. Place a disk drive next to, I need a disk drive. Disk drive. That's what I need. Okay. It's in my inventory. All right. Put that right there. Put this guy. Insert the operating system disk. I don't know what plan 9K is. No BIOS found. There it is. Oh, I think I got it. I don't know what I'm doing. I remember this is as far as I go in open computers, and then I'm like, I don't know how to use it. And then I just rage quit. But I need to figure it out right now. So home directory is read only, run, install, and reboot. No, I can just do that. So if I do install, then yes. Whatever that does, sure. This is totally how it is whenever I'm setting up my personal stuff. I'm like, just follow what it tells me and hope and pray it actually works. And then suffer the consequences later when I find out that everything I just did is broken. This is how long it takes to boot up your computer. Hello, Allie. I don't have to stare at it, right? Yeah, okay, it's working. So what does the manual tell me? I think I ate one of the manuals making this thing. So how can I... Computronics, here we go. I remember Computronics being so fun, especially the speech box. I want to learn how to play with this one day. Because you can do a text-to-speech. You guys, I know you guys love your text-to-speech. But right now I need to be able to read a fluid amount and do math. So it's like I can use variables and stuff like that. Like that's fine, but how do I, initialize variables, things like that. So that's the kind of the route I take whenever I do any kind of programming. What the heck is that? I'm not gonna read that. Oh, here we go. But yeah, this is how I do like typical programming. I kind of just talk to myself out loud, and I feel like it helps me think of things. Like think of a solution to some problem, talk it out, because a lot of logic is, I think in my opinion, easy when you just, I think I want blocks. Just you like break down the solution in words. In other words, not cope. Open computers. Okay, what the heck? How do I read like something in a? I think it's cables, right? A cheap way of connecting blocks. We'll just make a bunch of you then. Oh no, it's gonna be one of those things that I have to search for, right? I have 87 of them. Okay, so if I... So for example, how do I connect this guy into this thing? There's gotta be something I can do to read something here. Hmm. Robots and moving computers. I don't really care about that. Set different types of system and devices as well. An introduction. Okay. I need to be able to read a block. Is there such a thing as a reader? Hang on, I think I saw something. Networking cable. And machines that are far apart. If you have a compact build where all the components touch each other, okay, cables can be colored. The way of connecting computers and machines. So how do I connect this cable? I feel like maybe I need to have... Do I need the computer attached to it? Maybe that's what the scrunch is for. Shift right click. Shift right click U. Hold none for material costs. What does the scrunch do? It rotates blocks. Okay, never mind. So how do I connect to this cable thing? Another option is just to connect everything because I only need so many things connected to this little system. Tools, drone server, manual, remote terminal, texture picker, scrunch, and that's what I was using. So I don't think it's this that I'm looking for. Pretty sure I'm looking for. I actually. What about here? Mounting your HDD. I don't know what that means. Basic power display. Okay, so this is maybe something I can do to like talk to this. Type in Lua. Okay, so that's a testing environment. A equals. Okay, so you can actually call that. So we're using. Okay, but how? I just need to know how to connect to a machine. um, adapter. What's the adapter? There it is. Okay, it allows your computer to interact with GT machines and everything else. Okay, gotcha. It's adapters. All right, let me make like 1,000,000 of them. So if I do something like, if I just place it down, does it connect to something? I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. We'll do that, and then I don't know if it's a good idea to do something like that, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay, sure. So I don't know what that upgrade was for. What are you talking about? Too many components? Nuh-uh. Supported components. So I want a better central processing unit. Is there a computer, like a creative one? Okay, I'm just gonna bank one of you guys. We're learning. This might be the episode might run a little longer while I learn how to do this. Okay, so I have everything connected. I might need more to connect everything, but so that other quest was telling me if I type in Lua and then do something like, let me connect all of this stuff. Oh, okay, here's more stuff. Type DF to display operate. I don't care. First program. How about something functional? Make edit. Make a with edit startup. What? This will bring you to an edit page for a new program. Caught startup. Okay. So if I were to do something, let me complete this quest. Adapter cable. Just completed it actually. No adapter? That's not an adapter. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, type in mount HDD because why not? It's classic. This mounts the file drive until I'm not gonna do that. Okay, and then power display. Okay, so the one I was looking for is component.list. That's the function that I'm looking for. So if I do something, well, let's make a get out of here actually. How do I get out of here? Control D to exit interpreter. Thank you. And then do edit memes because I don't know what else to call it. This is their new file. If I what was the command again? I forgot. Component.list. So if I do component, that's not how programs work. Okay, so let me I have to go back. Close Control W. Component.list. Oh no. Actually, no, that works. Um, hey Viking, yeah, it's we're doing open computers. It's just that I don't know how to do open computers, so we're gonna figure it out. So it says here one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's seven things. Is that true? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. But I don't know if it's trying to connect to the output bus right there. I don't think it is. So I'm trying to. Okay, so there's an automation I have to do for the exoticizer, and it boils down to it outputs this amount of fluids, 79 times 2. They're not times. 79 minus 2, you have to subtract them. So 77, multiply that by 144. And that's how much fluid you have to push. But the fluid type depends on whatever you get from here. So I have to do 77 times 144 of hypogen. And then you put those exact values, including the input fluids, so spatially enlarged and tachyon rich, you put those back in here, and that's what the process is. But I think the recipe changes every single time, and I don't know how to do subtraction using Factory Manager or Gregtech piping. So Open Computers is really the only thing I can think of, and I need to learn it anyway. So, um, so here it is, me trying to learn it. You only did computer craft. The Lua APIs are different. Okay, I played a little bit with computer craft. It was mostly memes though. I haven't.
If you
I'm
think you have
very
had
thirsty
enough
for whatever
water,
reason.
you probably haven't.
I talked over Brian, sorry, but now I'm just very thirsty. Um, do I need more screens? If you have too many nearby things, it may not display, and the way to search the entire list of components is too advanced for starts. Okay, you're just not going to tell me how to search for it then, okay. How much you want to bet is running the list and then outputting it to a text file with something I could read. Um. Okay, in that case, if I break you, right, so that you only connect to that thing. There's only one GT machine connected right now, so if I do the same thing again. Yeah, but it's just GT machine. It doesn't really tell me much. The only other thing I can think of is just plug everything adjacent to it so that I can just directionally attach things. Because I know you can. I'm going to try that. I'm going to turn it off, move everything. I think I might be able to put the disk drive on top. So in other words, put all of these things. So I do want one tank. I mean, trying to think here. It sounds right, but when I connect all of these together, they all say GT machine, and I don't know how to choose what's what. So what I was thinking is having them on the side here or something like that. So that's a little easier for me to figure out, but hang on. It's going to be a lot of not copy paste, but looking online for like quick resources here. So for example, I'm just going to Google open computers. I'm off camera right now. I know that, or off monitor. Open computers components list. How do I do the whole components list? Because this guy doesn't want to tell me for he's so rude. The Wiki does tell me something. component list. Here we go. Official documentation. Give me a list of components, please. How do I search for that? So that's what I was thinking. I can use directionals to just say left, but how does that work? I don't know because I don't have enough space either. Component.list. Open computers component.list. Used to find and iterate overall connected components. It returns the Lua iterator, whatever that means. Filtering by component type. So some tutorials really need an I am adult checkbox to skip those belittling restrictions. What does that mean? Oh, it's like, oh yeah, it's too advanced for this, sir. We're playing GT&H and just getting to this point. That should already be qualified as I'm more than advanced. Just put the fries in the bag, or what do people say? Okay, so it says here I can do type in Lua, right? Oh, hang on. Control D to exit the interpreter. So this is just to check for whatever, right? If I do edit memes, like something like this. And no. Let's do Control W to get out of there. We're gonna do another one. Give me list. I just want to figure out how to get all the components of this thing. Because I would like for everything to just stay here. Like that, right? It's kind of ugly, but it's trying its best. So so this thing tells me local component equals required component. What the heck? No, it is. That's not really how it works. How do I? It's telling me just do a list. You can loop through all available components and print their addresses. That's what I want to do, but it doesn't tell me. Trying to think, what if I just do a directional thing? So then I have to look up, how do I look, open computers. Look at left block. Components, can I just run components? Yes. How do I look at everything? Okay, so there is GT machines here. Yeah, but it doesn't scroll, so that's where the problem is. I want to be able to see everything. Open computers, see all components. I can filter by types. Okay. So if I look up, if I do component, I don't know, GT maybe? Yeah, okay, we got it. Okay, I have the GT machines. There should be, I think, 3 of them, right? The output bus, which I don't want it connected. I have to figure out a way to filter that one, and then the 2 quantum tank. There should be 3. There's 3. But again, how the heck do I figure out which is which? Break them until it tells you. So break these 2. Should be 1. So C6, that's the one I don't care about. This one is B5. It changes addresses each time. That's fine. That's fine. As long as I place it down and then don't move it. So give me signs. There's probably faster ways to do this, but I'm just starting. B5. All right, that one's B5. U is 8B. Okay, that's it. Don't touch it. Now, how the heck do I connect to these guys? That's a very good question. If I do components A2 maybe. AE. How do I filter? Because I don't know how to filter for things for AE2 stuff. It might be FC actually. Fluid crafting components FC. No. Is there a way for me to blacklist it? Because I can't really disconnect all the other stuff because if I disconnect it, the whole computer breaks. Analyzer? Is that a thing? Oh, okay. Maybe this will work. Portable scan. We'll try this. Who am I getting rid of? Oh, it looks like I need to just make another crafting bus buffer. Right there. I don't even know if you have enough channel space for that. Give me my Certus quartz circuit ass machine. There you go. You need circuit 1. There you go. All right. Give me my analyzer. Okay. So if I scan this one, no? Do I have to connect it to this one? Punch it? How do I use the analyzer? Here we go. Handy tool for reading information about whatever. Simply sneak activate a block to get some information printed to the chat box. This ranges from things like the address of components. So if I shift right click that thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Component name GT machine. So there's 2 of them. Okay, so we figured out C6. That's the one. That's this one. I don't want it there, but it's gonna be there because I don't want to move it. But this one should just be one machine. Okay, we figured it out. What about you? That's what we want. ME interface. Stock replenisher. Does it not work with stock replenishers? Don't tell me. um, it might not work with stock replenishers. I kind of need you to work with a stock replenisher, though. That's not a good sign. Okay, so If stock replenishers don't work, then maybe just a bunch of interfaces. Because it goes back to here. All possible things that it wants. So I need enough space for plasmas for all of this. Plus these two things. Stock replenisher will be great, but if I can't, then just a bunch of interfaces then. So it looks like it's not able to detect stock replenisher. Unless it's unpowered. So let me connect it to main network to see if it's a power issue. Or I guess I can just give it an anchor. I don't think it's a power issue. It should detect it already. Yeah, you're not going to detect it. Okay. So we can't use stock replenishers if I'm using this. So really the only other thing I can think about is just a million other interfaces. And it's not really that tricky to deal with. So I don't want to move this. This is how it's going to be. And then I'm just going to break this. I don't need this anymore. So because this technically acts as a stocking hatch, I think whatever's in here doesn't really go in the storage. I don't know though, but I have space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So if I have, how many fluids do I have? Possible fluids would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 6 divided by 14, round up that's 3 of them. So I need 3 more interfaces. I'll just do this. It doesn't really need that much fluids as far as I can tell. Well, that's the other question actually. 16,000. The maximum that this can do is 100. So it's going to be 100 divided by 1, so 99, I think. 14,000. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, I can use this. So I don't think I can do it like that. Yeah, I don't think you're going to work like that. Let's use a quadruple input hatch. Put that. You're also going to need an adapter. And a bunch of interfaces. So we'll go right there, and then 1, 2, 3 interfaces. I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's looking a little ugly. This is mostly a what do you call it? A proof of concept, right? Let's go with that. We can totally like actually I'm gonna probably do that. I can share things like this. Nah, I don't want it like that. Give this an adapter. I'll put it on this side so it's easier to separate them. Do that. Like that, okay. Don't show up on terminal. Okay, so if I were to connect, give me a cable, please. There might be too many connections and I have to increase my computer size again. Put it right there, sure. How many connections do I have now? I don't know, but I'm just gonna get out of there. So I should have connections to everything, including that machine on the back. And I can copy the address. Okay. That's really all that matters. And then I can make variables for everything. So if I do edit memes, how do I move fluids around? Open computers, move fluid transfer. Inventory moving, accessing, and okay, that's what I want to see. Open peripherals. It might be a peripheral, something that I can use to start moving things. Open modular turrets. Anyone uses that? Open security is a thing. There's a lot of open stuff here. I'd like to know there's a way I can access your stuff. What is a village highlighter? Don't touch it. I'm probably going to break my server. Transfers up to 2,560 liters per second. I don't think I want to do that though. Crecopter. Okay. There's still a lot of things I need to learn, but just starting this off is already pretty fun, honestly. So I'm gonna hold it off here for the day. Because we're already past the 2 hours mark, and also I do have to travel out tomorrow, and I'll be gone for the week. But whenever I do come back, I'm going to play around with this a little more and try to like figure out what this is. I had hoped I was gonna get mag matter ready today, but I didn't realize that the automation was going to be like actually annoying. I thought it was just going to be, oh, you see this number, and then it stays at that number, and you can just give it that much forever and it'll work. No, that's not how it works. It looks like it's gonna change its requirements each time, and I do want to use open computers to do the automation for it, but I still need to learn how to use it. So it looks like I'm gonna do that, like whenever I come back and try to learn how to do it. I guess while I'm over there in on my trip, I can read up on how to do open computers. I think I'll do that so I can actually be able to do that. But what we did do today, at least, set up Eye of Harmony. That's pretty good. I guess what we can do actually is start setting up recipes for. Dump everything. Start setting up recipes for some of these UXV components. For example, if I wanted to start like spamming all of these things, I want to use 500 billion wireless energy hatches. Probably more power, honestly, but that's going to be pretty expensive, actually. Tell you what, we should probably focus on the component ass line. These upgrades first, because I'm going to use so many of these things. So let's try to build as much as possible. Yeah, we can't do those yet. UXU machine casings, yeah. Let's try to do this. And I don't think there's anything else we can do past that, right? Yeah. So I want to be able to craft all of those. It's going to be so expensive. Multiply by 43 so it crafts everything at once. And your UMV. So let's at least set up recipes to do this. So that it tries to process this as much as possible. So that we at least do some progress while I'm out. As for. But yeah, for sure next episode is going to be implementing the mag matter stuff. And then we just have to like just let it actually produce. So this is an implosion compressor, right? Goes right there. So this is not going to be fun. Actually, no, it is. Never mind. The super dense is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. It's these. I read about these. These are a problem because the amount of space time you need to keep to maintain this recipe is absurd. But it looks like I don't have to use these just yet. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that right now. Okay. Dense mag matter plate will be bending machine circuit 9. I can't do any of these recipes yet, but I'm just putting them in storage so that I can do as much as possible. And the first step is to try to get these component S-line casings. Same thing for research. It's going to be a lot of researchers renaming things I have to do as well. Oh, hello, MC Term. Hello. Likewise. How you doing? That's the other one. So you caught me at a pretty funny time because I'm actually wrapping up for the day. But I'll talk a little bit about what we did today and what I'm going to be doing off camera. Hope your stream went well, by the way. Thanks for the raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So just a quick overview. I guess for anyone who hasn't seen, here's our space elevators. I kind of want to brag about them because I built them last episode and they're pretty fun. But really the main issue today, or the main thing we wanted to try was mag matter. That was my main goal for today. But I didn't realize that the automation for this was a little weird because I sincerely thought that all that needed to be done was it gave you expected inputs and then you just have to give it this much. No, it keeps changing. And there's a lot of math you have to do to get this to work and exact inputs, things like that. So I was like, how do you do math? I don't really know how to do math. Don't take that out of context. Let me finish. I don't know how to do math in Minecraft. So I'm like, maybe it's time to do open computers because you can do math at least a lot better than other ways. But the thing is, I don't know how to use open computers. So most of the episode was trying to get this started up and I was not able to. So what I'm going to do off camera is try to figure this out. Like, how can I read fluid tanks? How can I read their values, do math, and then push into other tanks, things like that? I need to figure that out. So I'm going to leave that for next episode. But at least for this one, just real quick, I did set up a third Eye of Harmony. This one is for black matter, which we have 3.9 million. So we're steadily building up our black matter. The thing is, though, that I'm going to be out for a whole week because I'm moving up. My job is sending me to Michigan for the week tomorrow, actually. So I'll be gone for most of it. And all I'm doing is just setting up recipes so that I can try to at least make as much progress as possible for the component ass line, the final tier. That way there's at least some progress being done while I'm out. I'm not going to have any of these like recipes able to craft, but if I can get it started, that'll be good. Just a little bit of progress. Do I have small gear solidifier? No, extruder. Put that there. Explosion compressor. No, but it's been pretty good. We're very close to the end. Yup. I did label the episode UXV tier. No, not true. Because I assumed that I was gonna get mag matter. That's all we really need to be considered UXV tier. For example, like yes, I have the quest done, but funny enough, the quest is a checkmark quest, so you can just skip it. So yes, I'm here. I can do this quest right now. I can make that. I can't make the casing though because I need mag matter. So I didn't mean to lie. I just didn't realize it was gonna be a little weirder than I expected it to be. But yeah, we're approaching the end for sure. It's just that lately I haven't really been able to stream as much, or I only play when I stream. If I play off camera, it's just breaking or like fixing broken things, stuck recipes, things like that. I don't play too much off camera, but I haven't really been able to stream lately because that's expensive. I did pick up a new job recently, and so I've been going through a lot of the training. And so part of that, what is involved in that, frog in my throat, is a lot of relocation. So I've been kind of all over the place trying to move. Excuse me. And so because of all the movement stuff, I haven't really been able to play as much as I wanted to. But at the end of the month, I should be moving up to Idaho. And we'll be a lot more stationary starting then. So I'll have more time to play this pack. And I'm hoping to finish it like really soon. It's about time. And I know that the new version is coming out soon, 2.9. And I don't think I'm going to update the pack because I'm basically did the whole most of it in 2.8. Do you use a pre-made script set up for mag matter? I did not do mag matter, so I was trying to learn how to do it, but I failed because I just don't know how to do open computers. But that does bring me to a point. I know some people may suggest, oh, just copy paste. I'm not like that. I like to make my own stuff because my biggest reason being, I like to learn the mods. For example, I don't know anything about open computers. So if I were to copy paste someone's setup, I'm not learning open computers. So that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna make my own setup there. Wire milling 3, yeah. And I also just haven't done QGP either. Do this. 64. I wrote my own Lua script. It was horrendous. That as long as it works, there you go. So that's how I prefer to play. I like to learn my own things. Need to make you and you. Oops. Yeah, like that. I haven't really done mag matter either, so which is kind of backwards if you think about it. Because whenever I figure out mag matter, I'll also figure out QGP. Oh, not like that. 64. No. This one is 64 view, and then change this to easy to search. But like I didn't really see a need for QGP until Mac Matter. So I'm not sure if I really need to learn that. Two of the same things. Oh, you're saying it might get a use later. I'm just gonna replace this stuff. I fix that stuff later. I don't know. I just don't want to add any buses right now. I'm about to quit. So what I'm doing is, even though I don't have Mac Matter, I'm just setting up recipes. Oh, there's another one. Oops. 64, 64. That one's easy to search one, right? Yeah. And then take off. I guess I don't even know what you are. The bone, sure. It was basically just Gatecraft. Yeah, that's true. Small Eternity gear would be extruder. So what I'm doing right now, I think I already talked about it, never mind. I was just setting up the recipes to get as much progress as possible for the component ass-line casings, which I don't think I will be able to because, man, that's expensive. So, for example, if I try to craft it now. Yeah, no, you still need help here. Need the plates. That is solidifier plate right there. Eternity round. That is also a solidifier. No, but that's how I prefer to play. I mean, there's been many examples where I break my setups. Oh, you can't do rings? How dare you? I don't want to. I'm just going to replace a recipe and probably break everything because of that. Do you really need iron rings for any late game things? Probably not. I'll add this later. Okay. Universium wire. This is wire mill 3. There's multiple of them. Explosion compressor, that goes here. Wire 3 goes like that. Long eternity rod is solidifier. Here we go. Just want to be able to start as much of the recipe as possible. Fine eternity wire is wire mill 3. I could have sworn it did that already, but I guess not. Right there. Sorry, hit the mic. Okay, so now you're just missing a lot of fluids. That's so much. We have all of these fluids. I don't think any of this is really required in our passive setups. We are automatically producing both dwarf matter and universium. It's a little slow, but we are producing it. So while I'm gone for the next week, I'm just going to craft it and then hope and pray nothing breaks. Which we all know it's probably going to break. It's kind of funny how Eternity for most of the pack seems like it's expensive, but once you have it, yeah, I have the loop going on, and now I have more Eternity than I know what to do with. 3.7 billion. It's pretty cool though, because it also means it gives us a lot of Tachyon Rich and Shirabon, because that's what the recipe does, as well as the timepieces for whatever reason. It's pretty good stuff. I guess we need them for nanites, but okay, I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm gonna spend the rest of my day like preparing for the flight tomorrow because I gotta fly. I gotta check on what's allowed at the airport, things like that, because I don't really know. I've never really flown on my own before. It's always been like my mom to set it up. Now it's just me doing it. So I gotta figure out how that works. So we'll see how long this takes until it breaks. It probably will break, but here's hoping, right? Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff. It's the first time I'm doing a job where my work is like flying me out all over the country for things like that, but pretty much the last Let's Say Friendly Jester, yeah. Nah, but no. I'm still enjoying the pack. We're almost done for sure. But I got some. Well, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm all distracted. Anyways, we'll go ahead and continue the raid. Thanks again for MC Term for raiding me. It has been a while since we last seen him. So I'll continue the raid. I saw you from that ball. Yeah, the rubber band ball is still growing. Well, because Meat Weasel is such a cool name, by the way, because you mentioned someone, I'll go ahead and say hello. I'll honor that. I'm gonna say hello to Deviant Mittens. That's a cool name. Eugenics reference. I'm just a fan of eugenics. Anyways, sorry for the mistiming. I wasn't able to stream as much for the Raiders, but it is getting pretty late. I gotta get ready for dinner. Also, I'm getting pretty hungry. Anyways, for now, thanks for your time and support. Thanks for everyone for joining. I'll see you guys next week whenever I get back from my trip. Take care. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.